is SportsCenter.
Pedro Martinez takes to the hill in the Battle of the Sox, and we've got our eyes on the rest of all the action from around the majors. The 2003 CFL season about to kick off with the former Owl looking to stamp out his former club. Curtis Joseph elaborates on life after the Leafs and his pursuit of Lord Stanley.
I knew going in there's no guarantees.
There are 10 good reasons why Roger Clemens is on the Late Show with David Letterman.
I look sweet in tight pants. That's right.
From winners to losers, our Plays of the Week has it all. So does SportsCenter next.
Well, so it begins. Life without the postseason. NBA's done. Well, Stanley Cup, it's been handed out, so it's on to baseball. Jennifer Hedger, Dan O'Toole with you on SportsCenter. And speaking of baseball, not even any Jays and Expos.
No,
Monday night.
We're going to go with a team that the Jays are actually chasing. The Boston Red Sox are taking on the lowly Chi Sox, batting only .243 this season. And now they have to contend with this guy, Pedro Martinez. He's on a strict pitch count, but he's looking good. Freezes Frank Thomas there, and Thomas left to talk to himself about it. Third inning, Pedro getting some support. Manny Ramirez clocks one to left. That's gone. 3-0 Bo Sox, and this man can't quite handle the heat. Drops the ball. No souvenir for you. Weird moment here now. Pedro paints the outside. Jason Varitek thinks the ump called a strike 3. He didn't. He chucks it to third anyway, and Jason, that was a ball. Let the ump make the call. Pedro bailing out his catcher here. Next pitch, same location, but that one is called strike 3. Varitek apologizing to the umpire. To the fifth we go. Sacks are full. Thomas seeking some revenge, and he rips Pedro deep, long, and foul. Varitek telling Pedro, you got to get it up. Get it up. Get it up. How about this? A little intimidation, high and tight on Thomas. That gets Pedro's pitches up to 70. And with Frank guessing, Pedro gives him the jelly legs. Strike 3's called, staring down Frank, and Frank's not happy about that. Pedro's day done after 5, but his bullpen letting him down. Sixth inning, 2 on for Joe Creedy, and Ryan Roop gives up a meatball. It's a 3-run shot. Pedro can only watch. Boston loses 4-2.
Still on the bench, but Ryan Roop is...
Angels M's, we're going back to September 3rd, 1989. A young, spry Johnny Olerud playing for the Jays. And you know what he's going to do? Collect his first big league hit, infield single. Let's go to Monday night. In action for the Mariners, Olerud just one hit shy of 2,000.
Swung on and hit to deep right field. Back goes Salmon. He will fly away.
What a way to do it. 15 seasons in the bigs, and Olerud reaches the 2,000 hit plateau and ties the game at 3 to go along with it. Move to the 5th. Tim Salmon. Fly ball to the gap in left center. Mike Cameron misjudges it. He doesn't even know he's got it. Great diving catch. Cameron also doing it with the lumber. Stepping up in the 6th. Crushes John Lackey offering. Off the scoreboard and left. First of 2 dingers for Cameron. 4-3 ends. Move to the 9th. Scott Spezio. Ground ball to 3rd. Look at the play by Jeff Cirillo. Off balance. Chuck. Got him. No rally this time. Mariners win it. 6-3.
Twins and Royals mini starter Kyle Loesch in search of his 3rd straight win. It's 2-zip Royals in the 5th until Mike Sweeney gets a hold of a fat one. 3-run rocket into the fountain in left. It's 5-0 KC, and Loesch can go for a dip himself because his night's over. How about some more from Sweeney, though, in the 6th inning? Spanks a base hit to left. That's going to let 2 more runners cash in at 7-0 Royals. The Twins not laying down, though. They're down 8-2 in the 7th. Doesn't matter. Lou Ford throws a 3-run shot to left. That cuts the lead to 3. It's now 8-6 in the 9th. Matt LaCroix. Oh, Matt LaCroix sends a double to the alley off closer Mike McDougall. 2 runs come into count. Many coming from 8 runs down to tie things up, but it was all for naught. Because in the bottom of the 9th, Raul Ibanez singles to right off Eddie Guardado. Carlos Beltran is going to plate that winning run. The Royals win it 9-8.
Cubs and Reds bottom on 2 men on for Aaron Boone. Goes the other way. Both runners plate. This kid, well, you know what? He doesn't really care. He just wants Sammy back. Dusty Baker couldn't agree more. His Cubs were 2-3 since Sammy's wood issues. He is counting on his pitchers, and Matt Clement here's that. Fireballer striking out 9 in 6 innings. Gets a little D behind him, too. Ramon Martinez high and gets Barry Larkin by about 30 steps. Skip ahead, 3-2 Reds. Moises Alou and Eric Carroll back-to-back for some Jacks. Cubs up a run. Check this out, though. Griffey Jr. tries to climb the fence, hurts his shoulder. Put that guy in some bubble wrap. He went to the clubhouse for tests, but stayed in the game. You want to hear the biggest understatement of the year?
Talked with Ken Griffey Jr., did you not? So you have to make adjustments to try to continue playing at the big league level. That's the only way that he can help this ball club is to stay healthy.
You think? Last chance to help him in this game. Barely makes contact. Junior, 1 for 4. Reds lose it. 4-3.
To the CFL now, the Alouettes beginning their defense of the Grey Cup Tuesday against a guy who helped win it, Lawrence Phillips. The running back was released by the Owls in the off-season because he didn't meet the behavioral standards of the club. He did, however, meet the standards of the Calgary Stampeders, who signed him 3 weeks later. And as Ken Chillibeck tells us, Lawrence isn't the only Stampeder set to battle his former team.
It's a big game for him. I believe he has something to prove to Pop and Matthews and those guys over there. He wants to let them know that he's worth his value. And so he's going to come out, he's going to play hard. So I suggest KJ and those boys strap up.
Whether Lawrence Phillips has some added incentive playing his former team, we'll never know. Phillips wouldn't answer questions about his Montreal days. But one thing he did talk about was his new team, the Calgary Stampeders, and how physically he feels great.
I feel spectacular. Last year, first game preseason, I kind of banged my knee on the turf, and that kind of started the whole season because it was pretty bad. It was swelled up, and so I had to get it drained from the first game. And I'm going into this game feeling good, and I'm just glad that I'm in good health.
He's been great. I mean, I can't. Everybody always asks me, what do you think about Lawrence and, you know, his past and things like that. But, I mean, I'm the type of guy that lives by experience. And so he's been here. This is my first time working with Lawrence, and he's been great for us and great for this team and, you know, pretty good for this city. And so that's the only thing I can speak of.
Calgary head coach Jim Barker, who was the offensive coordinator with Montreal last season under Don Matthews, knows Lawrence Phillips well and doesn't feel it's a gamble bringing him on board here in Calgary.
I believe in Lawrence. I believe that, you know, he's getting it together. You know, tomorrow, who knows what's going to happen? Those are things I have no control over. Lawrence does. And we made what we felt was the best decision for this football club.
Deep down, of course, you want to win. And, of course, you want to try to put it to him as well. But, you know, for myself, you know, it's exciting to see that we're, especially Coach Barker, the position that he's in now. And I'm just wishing him the best of luck, just not against us.
It's fun to play against guys you know, because you know you want to, after the game, you want to be able to talk trash to them, and we beat you. So, I mean, it's more of a competition thing, friendly competition, and bragging rights.
Well, Phillips and Barker are obviously excited about their new team here in Calgary. There is one thing they are missing from Montreal, and that's their Grey Cup rings, which they won last year. They still haven't received them. Apparently, they'll have to wait until Calgary plays in Montreal on July the 19th. Ken Chillibeck, TSN in Calgary.
TSN kicks off the new season with the defending Grey Cup champs, the Montreal Alouettes, taking on the Calgary Stampeders. Our coverage begins 7 Eastern with a 2-hour season preview, followed by the game at 9 Eastern. The blackout for this one has been lifted.
More faces changing places in the Canadian Football League. BC Lions announced Monday they've agreed to terms with running back Kelvin Anderson, who was released Friday by the Calgary Stampeders. Anderson became expandable to the Stamps after the sign of Lawrence Phillips. Anderson going to be reunited with BC coach and GM Wally Bono and Lions QB Dave Dickinson, both former Stampeders.
Kelvin, in my mind, brings a model of consistency, of toughness, of the ability to do all facets of the game, whether it's run, catch the ball, or block. And like I said, being a professional is being able to play week in, week out, and deliver at a consistent rate.
See how fast I can pick it up. Hopefully, I try to pick it up. If I pick it up fast enough, I'll try to hopefully get into the Winnipeg game. But if not, I'll definitely be there against Saskatchewan.
Just ahead on this edition of SportsCenter.
I knew going in, there's no guarantees. There's no guarantees in hockey.
Curtis Joseph reflects on his decision to leave Toronto and on his lack of playoff success with the Wings.
You know the Rockets are shoo-in for the Hall, but if he's portrayed in a Red Sox hat, he may not show up for his induction.
And the week began with the crowning of a champion. That's the way it ended.
The San Antonio Spurs are your world champions.
Plays of the week, a bit later on SportsCenter. Well, the last time you had Curtis Joseph pop into your head, it was probably via your email. After the Wings were knocked out in 4 straight by the Ducks, it happened. Scorned Leaf fans sent pictures of Cujo's demise to, I believe, every single inbox in Canada. I'm sure Cujo himself got a few. They were pretty funny. 3 months after his Cup dreams were dashed, Joseph finally spoke to our Lisa Hillary. Now, does Cujo regret making the move to Hockeytown? That's just one of the subjects Curtis was more than willing to talk about in this report.
Puck is still loose. Back with that center. They score! It's over! Steve Reggie! After heading to Detroit in search of the Stanley Cup, goaltender Curtis Joseph ran into a wall with Ducks netminder J.S. Giguère and lost in 4 straight. At the time, Cujo was elusive to cameras and shied away from post-game comments. On Monday, he spoke about the series that was.
I knew going in there's no guarantees. There's no guarantees in hockey, and but we got another chance next year, and we'll be good.
Cujo admits that he pondered on whether he had made the right choice to uproot his family and leave a city he calls home.
But if I didn't make that decision, I would never know. You know, if to have the opportunity to play on a team of that caliber, you got to give yourself every opportunity to win.
Joseph replaced Dominic Hasek just weeks after the Dominator had backed the Wings to their Stanley Cup win over Carolina. Cujo's tenure in Detroit didn't go the way he had planned. Throughout the regular season, the media and the fans were tough on their new goaltender.
Well, that seems to be coming with the territory. I think more and more the spotlight's on the goalie. I think in every series kind of noticed this year, but you know, it's nothing that you can't handle, and you know, I'm looking forward to getting going next year. We have a lot of great young players, Zetterberg, Datsuk. They know what they're doing there.
Because Curtis Joseph has 2 more years remaining on his contract, he's the least of the Red Wings' worries. Heading into next season, they have bigger issues to address. The team's nucleus continues to age, and we've already seen one member of the 2002 team all but disappear in Luc Robitaille. Sergei Fedorov remains unsigned and becomes an unrestricted free agent on July the 1st. And Steve Yzerman's contract is up. And if he doesn't sign with the Red and White, don't expect to see him anywhere else, except maybe playing on the golf course. Lisa Hillary, TSN in Newmarket.
Now, when it comes to Cujo's regular and postseasons, there's a definite separation. It seems the higher Joseph finishes the regular season, the quicker he's gone from the playoffs. Cujo yet to even enter a rink with the Cup in it, as the conference semifinals are the furthest he's made it.
The Toronto Raptors reportedly supposed to introduce their new head coach Monday, but Monday's come and gone and still no coach. Former Pistons assistant Kevin O'Neill is still believed to be the front runner, but he's not talking. Neither are the Raptors. GM Glenn Grunwald's away on a pre-draft scouting mission, so an announcement now is unlikely until later this week. And in other basketball news, San Antonio will honor its NBA champion Spurs Wednesday for the second time in 5 years. The Spurs beat the New Jersey Nets 88-77 Sunday to win the best-of-7 final 4-2. Festivities begin with a barge parade along the famed Riverwalk and then move to the Alamo Dome, where the team played for 9 years before moving to the SBC Center this season. And odds to win the 2004 NBA title, well, despite not making it to the final this year, the Lakers are best there at 2-1. Spurs and Kings tied at 7-2 odds, and odds makers not very confident in the Raptors, who are a dismal 35-1.
There's no denying that Roger Clemens is one of the greatest pitchers in the history of Major League Baseball, but where Roger excels on the field, he lacks in the tact department. Or just chalk it up to Roger being Roger, or man that says what he wants the way he wants. You thought he was hated in Boston before. He can raise that a few notches now. Clemens, seemingly out of the blue, has come forward and said that he will go into the Hall of Fame as a Yankee, or he won't go at all.
Hopefully I don't have to plead my case. Nobody's going to pay me to wear a certain hat or anything like that. I am strong in my convictions and always have been. And, you know, it's my feelings that, you know, I became a Hall of Famer right here in this stadium. You know, all 3 of my stops have been great, but I believe that you know, I became that, what people are talking about, a first ballot or what have you, right here in this stadium and in these pinstripes.
Roger kicked off trading at the New York Stock Exchange Monday morning. The Rocket given the honor of ringing the opening bell as a token of appreciation for collecting career win number 300 last Friday. And later this week, ESPN Classic Canada will take a look back at some of the great moments of Roger Clemens' career. First, the flashback to 1986, where Clemens notched 20 Ks in a game for the first time. Then in 97, the Jays, when Clemens collected his 200th career win against the Yankees. All starts on Thursday on ESPN Classic Canada.
Brewers and Cardinals in action, and Bernie Brewer making a prediction in this one.
Can we get this team on a comeback? Can we win tonight? Yes, Bernie is predicting a for sure win.
Well, Keith Osick trying to oblige him in the bottom half of the 7th inning. It was 4-2 Cards, and he takes this offering out of the park. It's a solo shot, his first of the year, and Bernie loves it. It's now only 4-3 Cards. And then the Bernie Brewer prophecy coming true. Scott Podsednik has the sacks juiced, punches a single. That's going to score 2. The Brewers are up now 5-4. Later in the bottom of 7, 7-4 Brew Crew, and Osick strikes again. 2-on, doubles to right, catches in both runners, and the Brewers go up 9-4. Brew Crew bat around in the inning. It's overloads the first base coach with batting gloves. Meanwhile, Tony La Russa not believing his luck. Brewers come back to win at 9-4.
Mets and Marlins rookie Dontrelle Willis on the hill. Now, check out his windup. Forget the Q-tips. He could use his knees. He'd need pretty big ears, though. First inning, Cliff Floyd waves at straight gas. Floyd's next at bat. Same pitch, the same result. Art Howe knows Willis is dialed in. Veteran southpaw Tom Glavine on the other side of the ball, rolling until the 4th. Juan Rodriguez likes the opposite field, goes the opposite field. Solo shot for his 8th, 1-0 Fish. Skip to the 7th. Floyd seeking revenge after 2 straight Ks. The rookie goes 92. How about climbing the ladder to 93? Then another 93 mile per. Floyd's 3rd K of the night. Fans at Pro Player Stadium on their feet. Willis carried a one-hitter into the 9th. David Bell. You know he's bringing the heat. 8th K of the night for Willis. Vance Wilson, final at bat. Grounder to short to end it. Willis completes game one-hitter. A gem. Marlins win it. 1-0.
Padres and Rockies pick it up bottom of 2. Laurie Walker rips one down the left field line. Preston Wilson on his horse to home. And Walker safe at second. 1-0 Colorado, but the Padres open it up in the 4th. Mark Kotze say goodbye. 2-run bomb to right. Only his 2nd homer of the year. 2-1 San Diego. We'll jump to the 8th. The Rockies clawing back. Down a run. Larry Walker right up the gut. Todd Helton will score, and it's all tied up. The next batter, Chris Steins, he goes up the middle as well. Then he beats out the throw to first. One comes in. The Rockies are up 1, but Mark Loretta, hero of the day with 2-1. That's clutch. Clears the bases for his 6th of the year. Padres win this one 7-5. After a 16-year hiatus, the Pearson Cup is back. Established in 1978, the trophy was awarded to the winner of a mid-season exhibition game between the Jays and the Expos. This year, it will be awarded to the winner of Montreal and Toronto's 6-game interleague series. If the teams split the series, everyone wins. They get to share it. Still coming up on SportsCenter. Reggie Slack and Johnny Scott, 2 ex-Argos who are looking to make a good impression as the Ticats prepare to open their season.
And you don't want to miss our plays of the week.
He makes a tremendous catch. Oh, what a play.
If it's happened to anyone, it's happened to Reggie Slack. The guy's already crammed about 4 lifetimes into his body. He's only 35. His life's been played out upon a vicious timeline. Hero to GOAT to unknown. That process just about to turn full circle one more time when Slack was signed by the Hamilton Ticats on Monday. Slack finding a new home along with another former Argo, Johnny Scott, after both were let go by the boatman, John Liu. More from Steeltown.
Reggie Slack accepted his release 10 days ago as part of the business. What disappointed him was the Argos' reluctance to negotiate a starter's salary for him, which led to a contract holdout and ultimately his departure once the Damon Allen to Toronto rumors became a reality.
Maybe I'm old school, but I think when promises are made, they should be kept. And I saw no reason why they shouldn't have been. But it got to a point to where it was either, you're going to do it or you're not. And I prefer that you just tell me, and, I can make the appropriate decisions in my personal life.
For now, Slack is on the Tiger Cats practice roster mainly as veteran insurance for Danny McManus and a resource for backup Pete Gonzalez. Whether or not he suits up for Friday's season opener will depend on how quickly McManus's injured right knee heals.
I was willing to accept whatever role that he chose or he saw fit for me. And, I did contemplate the issue for a couple days, but again, I saw it as an opportunity for me to get back on the field.
That it's the first day he's been here to practice. He didn't get to do a whole lot, but that's to be understood too. So we'll have to wait and see how he progresses during the week, and if Danny can't go, we'll think about that later. But right now, Pete's going to start.
In contrast to Slack, former Argo defensive lineman Johnny Scott will play Friday. The Ticats gladly snapped up the four-time All-Star after he no longer fit into Toronto's plans.
It's a very good feeling to be one. I sort of felt that they didn't want me there, when training camp started and I was backup. I've never been a backup before in my life, and I didn't want to start being a backup then.
Slack says he didn't plan on retiring after Toronto released him, adding that he wants to play another 3 to 5 years. However, if the Tiger Cats or any other team hadn't come calling, he would have considered the possibility of hanging up his cleats for good. John Liu, TSN, Hamilton.
It's good to be king. The New Jersey Devils crowned Stanley Cup champs. The NBA crowning the Spurs the kings of basketball. And Jim Furyk won a crown of his own, his first major at the U.S. Open. Our crowning glory, the Hyundai Plays of the Week.
It was born in March the 18th, 1892. Blocked by Niedermeyer. Scott Niedermeyer scores! Mike Ruff deflected it! Rottweiler, Friesen shot, scores! The New Jersey Devils, for the third time in their history, have won the Stanley Cup. Will you marry me?
I got to answer that, right?
There's Chavez coming over into the slot. What a play by the shortstop, Renteria. Right center field, long way to go. Podsednik. Long goes back again, leaps up and what a catch! He makes a tremendous catch! Oh, what a play! The Houston Astros have pitched a no-hitter against the Yankees for the first time in 44 years.
The only time I worry about Friday the 13th when it falls on Halloween.
The 3-2. Got him! Strikeout number 4,000!
And Roger Clemens has won his 300th game.
The only time I worry about Friday the 13th when it falls on Halloween.
And the melee begins. Ah, what a shame. Oh, there goes the mouthpiece. The melee begins. Ah, what a shame. Jim Furyk has his major championship, the 103rd U.S. Open champion.
I'm not a prognosticator. I don't have a crystal ball.
Jefferson hammers it home. Great and misses. Oh, what a feed to Jefferson.
I just hope that the good guys win.
Robinson on a drive, reverse layup. Duncan gives it up. Jackson for the first lead. Got it! The San Antonio Spurs are your world champion.
Person who's fearless and brave and selfless in his work.
David Robinson, thank you.
There's more to come on SportsCenter, including Pedro Martinez loading up to face the White Sox in Chicago.
Our CFL panel looks ahead to the opening of the regular season, where there's plenty of veteran firepower at the QB position.
And the Rocket pays a visit to David Letterman.
The best practical joke? Tell a teammate they're traded to the Devil Rays.
That's right.